Hey guys, it's Destry. Welcome back to my yard. Actually, welcome back to my greenhouse. Today in the Pacific Northwest, it is raining. So today I'm going to do an inside project and show you how you can make a really cool piece of garden art using simple embroidery hooks. Check it out. All right, so let's check out what I scored at a yard sale the other day. I was able to snag 2 sets of these embroidery hoops. I think I paid like 50 cents for both sets. And I am not an embroiderer. I have done that in the past, but currently my hobby is yardening. So that's what I'm going to be using these for. I really like the wood look of them. And if you look closely, they have like a little screw so that you could, put your embroidery in here and stretch it and work on that. But I'm going to be using them in a different way to make some topiary forms and just kind of some cool kind of globe yard art. So what I'm going to do is actually put them crisscross. And what I can do is kind of loosen the screw up here at the top and then, get them placed where I want them and then tighten it down. Now I am going to be using some floral wire to sort of wire these and make sure that they're secure before I do my planting. I'm also going to use the second set and do a similar thing. So right now I've got 2. I actually went on Amazon last night and looked at, sets of these, and they're really inexpensive. I would say you could get, a set of, I don't know, multiples of the same size for probably like, I would say $10 or under. And so this could be a really fun project to do with kids, or just, if you've been an embroiderer in the past and you have these hoops like laying around somewhere, you could kind of upcycle them into something else. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm tightening the screws. Now I am putting the 2 screws kind of together on the top here. And then I've got one more to add. And again, it just takes a little bit of like kind of messing around with it until you get it right. I really like the wood look of this. I'm going to leave the raw wood. You could spray paint these and, change up the color scheme if you wanted them to be black. If you had more of like a modern yard, that would look really cool. So I'm just going to kind of work on my placement here. And then again, this is, it's a little loose. So what I'm going to do is grab some floral wire. I'm going to set that aside just really carefully. So this is called paddle wire or floral wire. You can pick it up at Michael's or, I don't know, any craft store really. And I'm just going to snip off a little piece. And I am going to secure kind of the top and bottom of this form that I created. And you could use this, you could like put it on a stick and, make it a true like lollipop form where you had a stick here. For me, I'm just going to use it. I'm going to set it in my planter and then plant up some of the lemon coral sedum from Proven Winners that I got the other day at the Home Depot. And so I'm just going to kind of wire this together. And again, if you had like a screwdriver or something, you could definitely like put a screw in this. But for my purposes, I'm just going to kind of try to wire it together. And I've got to find my shape again because I lost it a little bit. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to get another piece of that. Probably best to have a couple pieces of this floral wire already cut. So you guys, I woke up this morning and we have had some rain here in the Willamette Valley, Oregon, where I garden in Zone 8B. And woke up this morning, got everything laid out for a different video that I'm planning on filming for you guys. And then it started pouring rain. So I'm like, well, I could go in the greenhouse and work on this other little artsy project that I've kind of got in mind here. All right, so I need to kind of find my form, but you get the idea, right? So I'm going to wire this all together. And then let me just show you one. This is another one. So this one is really cool. This one has like some metal to it and these like cork pieces. And again, I really like the like retro kind of antique vibe of this one. These ones were actually, I had found in some memorabilia from my Auntie Fern that I grew up with. And she was the one that actually, taught me how to embroider. So this one is going to be really special for me. So I'm going to go ahead and wire this one and get that other one situated. And then I'll show you how I'm going to use these in a planting today. All right, so let's go ahead and get these planted up. So let me show you what I'm working with here. I've got a couple planters, and what I did is I kind of fit the spheres to the size of the planter. So here's the first one. It's really cute, so I think that will be a good fit. I could even put it kind of to the side like that. And I like that it has the wood base, which kind of mirrors the wood of the form that I've created. And I did go ahead and wire those up. And then I've got this one, which again is kind of a nice neutral white pot. And this is going to be for the second form. So I'm excited for this. Okay, so I did go ahead and fill these with soil. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to plant the lemon coral sedum before I put the kind of topiary form in there. So hopefully you guys can see this. Let me scoot this guy over a little bit. So I'm just going to create a little well here. I've got some nice potting mix. And if you have never worked with these, the Proven Winners lemon coral sedum, it is such a beautiful plant here. I've actually got some planted up here in this urn from earlier this spring. Here, let me turn around so you can see my little squirrel garden stake here. And I've got a little squirrel here. We have lots of squirrels in our yard. Anyway, this one did bloom, and then I trimmed off the blooms, and it's just rocking it in the greenhouse, which it gets pretty warm in here on warm days. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen this up and get it in its new home. I just love the bright, like chartreuse color of these. They can take a lot of sun and kind of a lot of abuse. They're not really fussy, which is what I like about them. And they will do a little bit of like vining up and trailing upwards, like climbing, I guess is what I should say, not vining, but they can also, drape over. So I think this will be pretty for this planting. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my dirt here. Get a little bit more just to fill this in. And then I'm going to place my like little orb. So tell me in the comments, what do you think about this? Is there any other like kind of circular forms that you could use, that you could think of to, create some sort of circular, topiary form? Have you ever tried that? I'm going to be working on a video here, hopefully later today, about creating topiaries. They're one of the kind of plant art things that I've been really into in the past couple of years, and I'm really enjoying, just the art of topiary. It's just a lot of fun. Okay, so now I've got that tucked in there pretty well. So now I'm going to go ahead and place my orb here, and I can see the wire, which, if that really bothers you, again, I think you could probably spray paint it or something, but I'm just going to kind of nestle this down in here, trying not to break the sedum kind of fingers, but I think it'll be pretty good. I think it'll work pretty well. Okay, so I'm going to kind of push it around until I get it where I want it. And then that is my dog Milo. Sorry for the dog noises, but I am here in my yard, and it's their yard too. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I might have to adjust it a little bit here and there. So let me see what I've got here. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I'm hoping the lemon coral sedum will kind of fill in, but I think that looks really cool, and it's kind of an interesting like structure to have in the yard. So I'm going to kind of mess around with these little tendrils here and kind of get it tucked down in there a little bit better. But I really like the shape of it. And yeah, here, let me kind of pick up some of these little arms and tuck them down in there a little bit more. You could also use some like little yard like staples and kind of like push them down into the dirt just so that the orb doesn't go anywhere. But these are just going to be here in my greenhouse, so they're not going to be like exposed to very much. So all right, so there's the first one. I think it looks really cool. It's kind of different, kind of funky, kind of yard art, which that's what I like. All right, I'm going to set that one aside, and then I'm just going to work on my second one here. So this one is the smaller of the two. So it's this situation here, and hopefully my sound is working okay. I'm having some, I have this crazy curly hair, and sometimes it gets on my microphone and then it doesn't sound that great. So I'm going to make a well. Maybe you can hear the rain starting up on the roof of the greenhouse again. It's just been rainy the past couple days, which is great, right? The garden needs that. Okay, so this one, I think I actually have too much dirt. So I'm going to pull a little bit out and make a little bit more room for this guy. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about having this greenhouse. So just a couple little bits about me. This greenhouse is new to me. I've only had it for less than a year. My husband built it for me last summer. It is a Pilgrim greenhouse, so it was from a kit, but still took a lot of time and effort to put it together. But it's just been the best gift. I had a greenhouse previous to this one, and it was really small. Like you couldn't even stand up inside of it, really. It was wonderful. My mother-in-law gifted it to me, and it was honestly one of the most wonderful, gracious gifts I'd ever gotten. But it was time for an upgrade. So anyway, I don't know. Can you tell me in the comments? Can you hear the rain on the roof? All right, so I've got him planted here, and I'm just going to, again, kind of place and drape these tendrils. So you can see it. This one's really got a lot going on. So I'm hoping I can kind of just thread them through almost. And I don't know, tell me in the comments too, do you think it would be easier to place the orb and then plant up the sedum? What plant would you use? Would you use sedum or would you use something else if you were creating this little topiary? And honestly, this guy's like kind of off to the side and I'm kind of loving it. So let me see here if I can get him in here just a little bit more. And I think the sedum's going to be a good choice. Oop, I lost one of my little branches there, which is okay. It's going to be a good choice to kind of fill this in, I think. Okay, so this one's a little funky, but check it out. I think it's cool. I'm going to work on it a little bit more just to kind of secure it. I might decide to go ahead and do it that way. I probably will need a little landscape staple if I'm going to do that, but that just gives you an idea of how that's going to work. So super cute. So tell me if you liked this project today. Remember, if you do like it and you leave a comment, I will reply back with a surprise personalized comment to you. Also, if you subscribe to my channel, I will, and comment subscribe, I will reply to you with a personalized fun comment. So go ahead and do that for me. I hope that you guys liked this video today, and I hope you go out and get in your yard, or in my case, in my greenhouse. And it's a really fun place to be. So thanks for watching. Bye.